Right, hopefully this thing is working. I don't know if it's working or not, it's just buffering. There we go, it should be working now. Okay. So, I'm just setting things up at the minute if you're rewatching this live stream. I normally start them a little bit earlier, just so people can actually, get here. But in a minute or two, hopefully when some people do, jump on, then we'll start discussing some stuff. Annoyingly, I can't actually put the thing on for the live streams like you used to be able to, because YouTube will not let you for some reason unless you're a monetized channel, which I am not. So, but anyway, actually I switched the cameras actually. There we go, switch. There we go, we got the cameras switched. Good, so 2 people watching, so in this live stream I'm going to be discussing the B&M sets and what I thought of Power the Daleks Special Edition, which I finished watching last night, and I've nearly finished ripping it and converting it to MP4 as well, so I will be discussing both of them. In fact, you know what, I'll start now actually. Let's see, what can I prop my phone up on? There we go, I can use this box. Okay. Alright, so, again, if you want to ask anything or say anything, then just put it in the comments below. So, I think I'll start off with Power of the Daleks Special Edition, since I literally watched that last night. And, okay, so the animation, I'd say this is a downgrade from the previous version. For one, for some reason I can't really fathom, bits of Power the Daleks are actually cut out in this version, in this newly animated. I say newly, this sort of the newly animated version. For example, one of the first things I saw immediately is they cut out the bits where Patrick Troughton first gets his recorder and plays it. That bit is just completely cut out of this new version, which was in the original, which I don't know why they cut it out, but they did. Some other things, like, for example, some scenes are cut slightly shorter than they should be, like that. But, yeah. But I did notice the animation does seem, for example, the newly animated bits do seem a bit more rushed. They do seem to be less polished than they previously were. For example, there's a few sections where, for example, some of the characters' shoulders don't seem to be properly attached to their body, or they move in such a way that they look like their shoulders are being dislocated. I noticed that a few times. And also the hands, they've redone some of the hands, and they've made them look really cartoony. Even putting little squiggles on and drawing their fingernails and that, which don't look like they're attached to the body. They've just added them over the top. So that is something that this version, extra on. But the thing that also annoyed me is that something they got right the first time is some of the details. For example, some of the finer details, they've actually simplified a bit more in this one. For the prime example is they completely changed Patrick Troughton's trousers from the checkered pattern they had before to this just basic grey with a few sort of dots on them. And actually I do know why they've done this. The person in charge, I for the life of me I can't remember her name. If you actually can remember her name, then please let me know. But she has gone on record for saying that she would never do the checkered trousers again after Power, because they were effort. They took to. They were too difficult to do, even though you did manage to do them. So I don't know what, just like the fact that you did, it's just like little things like that. It just really irritates me. And also sometimes when they do switch to completely new bits of animation, the the character sort of models look completely different. For example, there's a couple of times where you see Patrick Troughton walking, and his face looks completely different to what the previous version looked before. So it's a little bit jarring when you're switching back and forth between the old and the new. So to be honest, I will not be watching the animation. There are a few subtle improvements, like in a couple of bits, the lighting is a little bit better, but and some of the motions are better. Some of the actual motions are better, but for the most part, it's a pretty much of a downgrade. And I noticed the lip syncing seemed to be off more in this version than in the previous version. I don't know how they managed to do that, but yeah, some of the lip syncing was a little slightly off. Now, most of the time I didn't notice that, but there were a few bits, particularly when Lesterson was talking, where just like it seemed like slightly off. But yeah, however, I do still recommend buying this, and the reason is the special features. If you are a fan of the Blu-ray box sets and the amount of special features that they come with, this is definitely worth picking up. Definitely worth your money, definitely worth your time, mainly because there's a huge amount of special features on here. So, for example, there's a brand new sort of making of a documentary about Power of the Daleks. Not the animated version, but the original version. That is presented by Toby Haydock, who normally does these. And it's a 45-minute long, behind-the-scenes documentary about Power of the Daleks. So that alone could be enough. But some other things that are included on here is Wicker's World, the full episode, and that is actually, since it was shot on film, that is actually in true HD, which is good, because we get to see the full interview of, obviously, Terry Nation at his mansion. But also, if you're a fan of horror, for example, the Wicker's World episode is actually about horror movies and stuff like that. And there's actually a really good interview with Christopher Lee on there. So, the Wicker's World episode, which is 37 minutes long, is worth it. And also you get to see the original Yeti costume as well. Briefly, but you do get to see it. The original Yeti costume in the Wicker's World episode. There's also on this a really good reconstruction. I'm not talking about the animation, but an actual telesnap reconstruction. The telesnaps have been rescanned and they've been restored, a lot of them. And also, there's obviously some new footage that is being found, and new photos that were found. I think it's called the Derek Dobb footage. There's a special feature on it about that. That is on here. That is really good. But the reconstruction they've done on here is really good. It's a really good reconstruction with telesnap, so that's definitely worth it in that perspective. What else is there? There's also the cassette version of Power of the Daleks, narrated by Tom Baker. Now, you might remember, I actually did my own restoration of that. And to be honest, mine actually... I'm not trying to, chew my own honey, but mine legitimately does sound better. The version they've got on the Blu-ray, I don't know what they did to it, but the audio just sounds so thin and metallic. It sounds like they've used a really cheap cassette mechanism in order to restore this Tom Baker audio. So, yeah, I don't know why it sounds so bad, but it really does. They also have the Daleks, the early years, which originally was a VHS back in 92, 94. And just like Power of the Daleks, the original master tapes for the early Daleks, the early years, is actually missing. So they've had to do it off a VHS. So the quality isn't as good as it could have been because they lost the original. So great. There's a good behind the scenes from Mike Tucker, where he shows how he recreated the Dalek production line scene. That is generally worth it. Now, something about that is that what was I going to say? Is that I would really like one of those, because what he's done essentially is, thanks to Toy Box Treasure, Matt Dawes from Toy Box Treasure, he actually gave him a original, what's it called? Herx Dalek, there we go. He gave him a Herx Dalek, and he actually made an actual Moldavik. So to be honest, I would really love these reproduction, one of those reproduction Hertzlights that they use for the Dalek production line in the recon on this. Would be really nice if we did actually get one of those released. Who knows? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. The photo gallery is really good because obviously there's new photos in there, and also the new sort of snippets of newly recovered surviving footage. For example, we now have some Robert James as Leskerson footage. It's only a couple of milliseconds long. It's only like a second or two long. But the fact is, we do have a little bit of footage of him. Just a tiny bit. There's no dialogue when he's speaking, but just a tiny bit of footage of him. You know, I mean, that should be worth the price alone for this. Though, as I say, since this is, you know, a standard edition, there doesn't seem to be a steelbook coming out. There might be in the future, but at the moment, you know, if you don't think it's worth, you know, paying £18 for this, or if you want the DVD version, I think that's £15, then these will get price drops because, you know, they're just standard editions. But yeah, definitely, this is definitely worth picking up, just not for the new animation. So, let's talk about B&M sets. Now, something that I did mention beforehand, and I actually did a separate video about that, was the TARDIS doors. And actually, you know what? Let's grab my TARDIS. So, here's my second Doctor TARDIS, and actually I'll get it out. So, you might remember I did do a video about the doors being bent. In fact, I said that in the original video. And the reason is because the sellotape they put on the doors, actually, it bends the doors outwards, which actually warps the plastic. Now, just looking at this now, if I open it up, yeah, let's have a look at the other one. So, there is some slight good news. If your doors aren't warped too badly, this one is actually my replacement one that I got. The doors weren't warped as much as the first one I got was. That one I actually took back. But this one, the doors weren't warped quite as much. They still were a bit warped, but not as much. And I have noticed that literally just taking the tape off and leaving it as is, the doors will, you know, if you do it, the doors will go back to their original shape. Someone did say try using a heat gun. The only problem is the plastic they're made out of would actually just probably ruin the plastic, the sculpting of the plastic, because a heat gun will probably be too hot. Hairdryer, maybe. Well, to be honest, the type of plastic this is made of, the fact that, you know, it's not so thin that it's in a slightly middle way ground, where, to be honest, the best solution is to just leave it alone. I mean, if I can try and show this on camera, but you can see the door is still slightly bent there at the bottom, but nowhere near as much as it was before, and even just, you know, sort of like pulling up on this side and pushing down on this side like that, gently, not forcing it too much, does help, but, you know, generally it's just like, and the main reason it's happened at the bottom and not at the top, there's a little plastic lip just here, which stops it from doing that. But yeah, I mean, my basic solution to that was basically just put the tape over the top. Just put it over the top of the doors. Don't wrap it around the inside of the doors and then pull it so the doors are pulled outwards. Don't do that, because that just it does just warp the plastic. So yeah, in terms of the sets that we have got this year, I've had this theory that either the wave was cut down, and this could be to either, you know, COVID as the obvious reason that could have been, but the other reason is I think it might have been cut down as cost reasons, because we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, arguably 7 new head sculpts, which, you know, might have been the reason why they cut down the wave from what it used from, because we only got obviously 1 TARDIS set and only 2 Dalek sets. So maybe that's maybe they did cut that down. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but it might be that they cut it down. And it's also weird that we're getting it really a month early when you think about it, because normally these sets come in at the end of August, start of September, whereas this time they've come in at the end of July, and will probably be in stores by August. So yeah, just something to note about that. But in terms of what we could get next year, obviously in February we most likely will get revised sets and probably a new TARDIS set. This is what I like to refer to as the budget wave, or the wave 1.5, because generally we get some revised versions. So what new TARDIS could they do next year? To us, I would really like a season 18 TARDIS with a season 18 Tom Baker, maybe even a hatted variant of him. That would be really nice to do. Could do a Hartnell one, obviously a re-release Hartnell. But other than that, TARDISes, yeah, I doubt they'll do it. They won't do something like an 8th Doctor one, because they'll probably do a new lamp for that. So it'll probably just be something that they can just, really easily do generally. In terms of Dalek sets, I mentioned that maybe they could do, if they did do revised versions, they could do Daleks 3 and 4 for Dalek History of the Dalek Set 1. There we go. I keep forgetting that name. Or if they did put some money into it, though I doubt it, they could do the Dalek with the cutting device that is used to cut through the door. With Dark Invasion of Earth, History of the Dalek Set 2, there's a few things they could have done with that one. For one, they could give the Supreme the full-size pupil rather than just the small one. Or if they want to get rid of the Supreme completely, they could have, obviously, a drone, a silver drone with a smaller eye, or even along with, rather than the black ball around the eye, one with the black ball around the eye rather than the silver ball around the eye, because there is a Dalek in that story that does have it. So maybe they could do that. Or if they want to go a little bit mad, they could, if they wanted to, do a Dalek from the Dalek from the Space Museum that has the egg cup dome lights, but still has the disc on the back from Dalek's Invasion of Earth, but doesn't have the big fender. So they could do that. Who knows what they might decide to do? But yeah, and obviously next year, hopefully we'll have History of the Daleks sets 3 and 4. If they do decide to continue the line, I'm pretty sure they probably will, because the Dalek sets, from what I've seen, are easily the most popular this time around. Easily the most popular. I would say then it's the TARDIS set, and then after that it's maybe the unit set. But definitely the Dalek sets are the most popular, so I'm pretty sure they'll do Dalek sets 3, History of the Dalek sets 3 and 4, which will most likely be the Chase and the Daleks Master Plan. Now, what Daleks will release of them with the Chase, it would be nice if they did do a Dalek with the Perceptor. That would be nice. Or they could do a Dalek with the dish that is used at the end, which is actually a reused Dalek dish from the Invasion of Earth ones in episode 6. They could technically do that. But obviously this time around they should have the correct egg cup dome lights and the correct amount of discs on the eyes. But other than that, not a lot to it. There is the Dalek from the Chase that does have the silver ball around the eye. There is one in that story, and that is the one that actually goes off the Mary Celeste. But other than that, just more Daleks. Obviously, when it comes to Dalek's Master Plan, we'll obviously probably get a re-release of the Supreme Dalek from that story. They could do it with the Chase, but it makes more sense to do it with Dalek's Master Plan. And in terms of others, I mean, they could do the Dalek Perceptor one in the Chase, in the Dalek's Master Plan, because it is in that story as well. Other ones they could do, I don't know. Because the thing is, the Daleks in the Dalek's Master Plan are the same ones that we used in the Chase for the most part, so But in terms of 3-packs, I mean, I could speculate until the cows come home about 3-packs they could do next year. Most likely, we will probably next year get... Actually, I can guarantee this. Next year, we will get a 3rd or 4th Doctor figure next year. Some sort of variant. Or even a re-release. We will get a 3rd or 4th Doctor figure. Guaranteed. Because in every single B&M wave... every single B&M wave that there's ever been... Generally, we always... not every B&M wave that there's ever been... but every B&M wave that there's been for the past 4 or 5 years, we've either gotten a 3rd Doctor figure or a 4th Doctor figure or a 3rd or 4th Doctor related figure. We always get those in every single one of these, so it makes sense that we're going to probably get either, if not a 3rd or 4th Doctor figure, a 3rd or 4th Doctor related figure in every single wave. In terms of 3rd Doctor variants, there are still a few that they could do. In terms of 4th Doctor, as I said, I would really like a Season 18 re-release. Maybe with just the hat. That would be enough for me. Or if it's just a straight re-release, I'll take it. I'll be happy with that. I can't really think of any other sort of major variants, because they've done most of the 4th Doctor sort of major variants by now, so... Unless they decide to do a Key to Time version with a new scarf, which, to be honest, they probably wouldn't. But other than that, here's what it is. Yeah. Actually, something that'd be nice if they did do the Seeds of Doom 4th Doctor, but paint the cravat the correct sort of dark red colour, rather than they did it an almost peach colour initially, and almost an orangey peach colour, but really it shouldn't be that colour, it should be red. So if they did re-release that, but actually get the cravat the correct colour, then that would be nice. Actually, not Terror of the Zygons, because technically they could do a Planet of Evil. I didn't say Terror of the Zygons because in Terror of the Zygons he doesn't actually wear the cravat. But they could do a Planet of Evil 4th Doctor where it's the Season 12 costume for the most part, apart from the waistcoat and cravat, because both those parts exist. In fact, a lot of people have done customs of them, so if they did do that, that would be nice if they did do that. But yeah, now in terms of sets that we got this year, I am happy with them. But something I would like to see next year is bring back some. Would be nice to see more monsters next year. I know we got last year. We obviously got Cybermen and some Tarans. This year, the only monster we've got is a Jadoon Trooper. That is the only monster we've got this year, because Daleks are kind of in their own category. But yeah, it'd be nice next year if we get some more monsters. Maybe some Revenge Cybermen. That won't go amiss in my books. And in fact, it would be an excuse to re-release a Season 12 4th Doctor. Where so they could do that. Maybe even a new Harry variant, actually. Do the two variant, the Cyber Leader and the regular Cyberman from Revenge, and then do a new variant of Harry in a set. That might be a thing that they could do. Other figures, other monsters they could do. Don't know really what other ones they could really do. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. But yeah, that's just what they could do. Movie Daleks. Now, if you remember last year, Alduar put a tweet out saying that character had gotten the rights to the movie Daleks. Now, I hope we see them next year. We haven't seen them this year. I mean, they could surprise us and release them this year, but I doubt it. I don't know if they're going to save that for a later History of the Daleks set, which is possible. Or they're just going to... Though I don't think they would. I think the movie Daleks would probably have to have the separate release, just because the BBC do not own the rights to the Dalek films, so I don't think they'd be able to use the same style of packaging. But yeah, movie Daleks. I'm really hoping we get some movie Daleks. There are a lot of customs actually on eBay, and some of them are really good, and some of them look so good that pretty much they look basically, I imagine, what the Couch Options version would look like if it's eventually ever released. So yeah, I don't know why they're waiting on it. Maybe they're just waiting on, I don't know. I know the two Dalek films are finally getting a Blu-ray release in America. Yeah, it's hard to believe. In 2013, I think it was, we got the two Dalek films new digitally restored on Blu-ray. But America is finally going to be getting them this year. Who knows? I'm hoping the UK actually, for the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, they do Studio Canal, who are the distributors of the Dalek films in the UK. Excuse me. I'm hoping we get new 4K releases of them. Because just imagine how good they look with in 4K with HDR, because those Daleks are very colourful. There we go. And HDR, obviously, will make them look amazing. So it'd be nice to have them look like that. But other variants, I don't know. And I've had a few people argue with me, saying the Companions to the 13th Doctor set is popular. People love that set. Well, in every B&M I've been in, and and pictures I've seen of other people going into B&M on Twitter and Facebook, yeah, that set doesn't seem to be shifting very much. In fact, I've been to 6 different B&Ms. 6 different B&Ms when I initially was looking for this year's sets. And in every single one of the B&Ms they had loads and loads. They had loads and loads of the Companions to the 13th Doctor set. But either they had absolutely nothing else, or they had, maybe a few TARDIS sets, and that was about it. So, yeah, to people who say, oh yeah, people love the Companions of the 13th Doctor set, they're selling. No. I'm not saying they're not selling at all. I'm not saying no one's buying them. I'm just saying, if you were to look at a percentage of which ones are selling the most and which ones are selling the least, it's pretty obvious which is which. Basically, I imagine the Companions of the 13th Doctor set is going to be the 9th Doctor set of this wave. And what I mean by that is the 2016 9th Doctor set, very few people bought that one compared to the others, and that one was actually in B&M all the way up until 2020. Yeah, there were some B&Ms that still had that 9th Doctor set from 2016 still in their stores, and I know that because I've seen a few B&Ms that still had it. But yeah, some good news for people who didn't pick up some of the 3-packs from last year. All the 3-packs are reduced to £8. Now, whether you have a B&M that has them all in, that's another story. The ones in at least 2 in my area, the bigger ones, they do have all the 3-packs from last year still in stock for £8 each. So, which if you've been watching my items to unbox, you'll know I've actually bought quite a few Silver Nemesis sets for the Cybermen, so I can army build a cyber army. The ironic thing is, the only one I've still opened is the original one I got to review. So yeah, but overall, I'm happy with this, and the TARDIS set is nice. It's not my favourite TARDIS set. In fact, out of all the TARDIS sets that have been released, to be honest, I think this one is my least favourite out of them. Out of the B&M TARDIS sets, or just classic TARDISes in general, I think this is just my least favourite. I don't know, I think it's just the colour of it. To be honest, I think it's the colour of it that just makes it, look a bit bland. I think they could have, I think they should have stuck to what the prototype image is on the back here and made it more of a blue rather than more of a grey. I think Batman Mark said it looks more like a black and white TARDIS, and yeah, I mean it isn't, the colour scheme isn't completely grey. It does have sort of hints of blue if you get it in the correct sort of lighting. You know, it is a sort of very dull sort of grey blue colour. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying this is bad. I do still like the set, just out of all of them. It's just my least favorite. I tend to like the more vibrant looking TARDISes, the brighter blues. For example, I really like the third Doctor TARDIS from Peladon earlier in the year. That one, I really do like the colour of that one, so I do prefer that one to this one. And my favourite classic series TARDIS of all is actually up there. It's my 7th Doctor TARDIS. That is my favourite. Out of all of them, that is my favourite TARDIS. So yeah, you know, I'm actually going to have a look at the chat. I didn't actually have a look at it, so I'm going to see if there's any questions or answers or things in general. I got an itchy nose. Okay. Are you transsexual? No. Have you heard of Purple Aki? Yes, I have. The first time I heard of Purple Aki was actually Count Dankula's video. So yeah, Purple Aki, for those who don't know, is a very large man who is a paedophile, essentially. So yeah, and he's still around today. Why don't you answer the questions live? Not good content creator, I'd say. Why don't I answer them live? Generally because there's generally not a lot of questions most of the time. So I just kind of say what I've got to say while I can remember, because if I go on a tangent or something else, I'll completely have forgotten what I need to say. Yeah. Long time no see, yeah. Do you think they will make a Davros set? Now, Davros is interesting because, I mean, you could technically put it in a History of the Daleks set, and I think probably that's what they might do. Because even though Davros, you know, isn't a Dalek, they most likely will put it in a History of the Daleks set if they do Davroses. So, for example, Genesis, you know, when they eventually get to Genesis of the Daleks and the History of the Daleks sets, I reckon if they will do a Davros, they probably will put it in one of those sets. And whether they'll release every Davros variant, maybe, maybe not. I would, though, love them, and I've said this many, many times, I would love them to re-release the Emperor Davros from Remembrance of the Daleks, if they do that. And actually, when they do get to Remembrance of the Daleks, they will have to do at least 2 History of the Daleks sets. They'll have to do at least 2. Because at the moment we've only got like 1, you know, Dalek set per story, but I think they most likely will do at least, they've got to do at least 2 for Remembrance. So if you've got the Imperial Daleks, you've got the Renegades, you've got the Renegade Supreme, you've got the Special Weapons, and, you know, you obviously got Emperor Davros, you've got the destroyed Imperial Dalek that they did. So, you know, a lot of stuff that you know, I mean, that's 6 figures, so theoretically they could do 3 sets just for Remembrance if they wanted to. I know Remembrance is probably one of the most... The Remembrance of the Dalek set is one of the worst terms to search for on eBay, because you've got the original Remembrance of the Dalek set, which was the 7th Doctor and Imperial Dalek. Then you've got the second Remembrance of the Dalek set, which is the 4-pack with the original Special Weapons Dalek. Then you've got the third release, which is the Emperor Davros version. Then you've got the 4th release, which was the Toys R Us exclusive 7th Doctor and Renegade Dalek. So, yeah, Remembrance of the Dalek set. There's so many sects with that exact name. So, yeah, it's going to get a bit confusing where we're going to have another one. So, but I would like them to do Davroses. If they do every single Davros again, I reckon that they won't do the swappable hang thing. I mean, the hangs will probably still be swappable, but if they do obviously Resurrection, it'll just be, regular Terry Malloy. If they do a Revelation, it'll just be the stump hand, most likely. And obviously Remembrance, Emperor Davros. I'm hoping they can afford to do Emperor Davros. They should be able to, because, for the most part, he is mostly just a solid piece. So, he is hoping they do that. Yeah, Emperor... Well, the thing is, he's less expensive than you think, because they do have the mold, so it's not extremely expensive to make. I mean, they could... I think, if they did decide to do him, they could. He is more expensive than an average figure. I would say Emperor Davros is probably... I'm trying to think about it. Emperor Davros is probably... I'm guessing here. But I'm guessing he's probably about 1.5 times, more expensive than... Basically, he's the equivalent of 1.5 Daleks in terms of expense. I wouldn't say he's, literally twice as expensive as a single Dalek, but maybe 1.5 times, but we'll see. But, they might swallow the cost in order to sell them, because those Dalek 2-packs, they could have sold them for £25, maybe even 30, but they didn't. They kind of swallow the costs on them, because Daleks are more expensive to make than, say, a Doctor figure or any standard figure. But, they know that if they keep the price at £20, then they will sell more of them, because people are more likely to army build. So, maybe Emperor Davros one day. Who knows? There is hollow plastic on Emperor Davros. There is, because the base of it, part of the moulding is just taken from an Imperial Dalek, part of it, or just a standard Dalek figure. Part of it is. So Emperor Davros is still hollow inside like a regular Dalek, though he does weigh a lot more, mainly because you've got, a Davros sort of shoulders and head plugged into the top of it, and the massive dome door on top. So that's that. I'm on a Doctor Who Discord, and the rumour has it that there is a ranked video coming out about you. If there is a ranked video coming out about me, please send it to me. I really want to see it. I really want to see it. Because it's really entertaining, to be honest. And to be honest, it's a little bit of validation as well. Just, what have you done wrong? What have I done wrong? I'm controversial, apparently. Because, I say what my actual opinion is. Which people don't like. People don't like it if you've got a different opinion to them, generally, most of the time. And also, they don't like it if I buy something that they don't have, or if I buy multiple of something that they don't have. Yeah. And the thing is, though, like, people think, oh, I just go into B&M and they roll out the red carpet for me. No, that's not the case. I did have to go searching for these sets. I mean, the only reason I was able to get them so easily and so quickly is because there are tons of B&Ms in my area. I literally live in B&M Central. Because I live in Newcastle, and there are tons of B&Ms in Newcastle. There are tons. And the only reason I knew the sets had come out, actually, on a Thursday, is because B&M Metro Centre in Gateshead, which, I would say is a local enough B&M to me. It's about a 10-15 minute drive. Someone had actually went into that B&M, bought some of the sets, and were actually selling them on eBay, because one of my friends said, oh, do you live near Gateshead Metro Centre? I went, yeah, I go there all the time. And they said, oh, the B&M there has got them in. And actually, if you went on their eBay page, they actually took them. They were actually the pictures they actually took were actually in the car park of that B&M because I recognised the area in the background. So basically, that meant the following day on the Fridays when I first went out to go get the sex. But generally, I know some people don't have any B&Ms in their area, but most people generally do. Most people in general do have B&Ms in their area. But if your B&M currently doesn't have them in, as I say, just wait, they will get them in. I know that some of the B&Ms, a couple of B&Ms in my area just flat out didn't have any of them in, but they did actually say they've got loads at the warehouse. I think they said they've got, I was asking about the Daleks, but they said, oh, we've got 800 Dalek sets in the warehouse, so yeah, nope, Captain Jimmy Pie videoing Davros. Okay. The base is solid plastic. It's odd, that. Apparently, he's started working on video today. I can send you a link. Yeah, please do send me a link to that video if it does come out. I really want to see it. Also, I'd like to know who is doing it. Because it is one of the things about being on YouTube is it's surprising how many people think they know you. Surprising how many people think they know you just from your videos. Yeah, no. Yeah, some people are going out to buy the full stock. Now, when I went to go get my replacement one of these, I went back to the B&M I went to later in the same day. Basically on Saturday when I decided, you know what, I'm sick of these doors not bloody working properly. I'm going to take it back and get a replacement, which is this one. And when I did go back there was two other people in the queue with me who were just in front. One guy in there literally had a trolley full of sets, which I did find quite amusing. This guy just went in there, and there was another guy who was probably around about my age who had just gotten like one of each. He did actually ask me, he said, oh, is any Dalek sex left? And I went, and sorry, me and my brother got the last two that were left. But yeah, I was surprised because it was the first time I'd actually ever seen other people buying them. It was weird, but yeah, that was actually, you know, after lunchtime. Though generally, if you want to get the sets, you know, guarantee get them. There's two things you've got to know, and there's two things I know that generally guarantees me getting the sets when they come out. And the two things I know is, A, when B&M gets their deliveries. Now, the B&Ms in my area, they get deliveries on Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. I say Monday, Tuesday because two in my area, some get it on a late Monday, some of them get on an early Tuesday. But if you know when B&Ms get their deliveries in, like just in general, when they get deliveries in, and you get there for when they open or just after they open, then pretty much, you know, you're guaranteed to have them all out ready, you know, ready to be sold. So basically, I mean, it's not a difficult thing. It's basically, I mean, find out, just ask, you know, a B&M staff member, when do you get your deliveries in? Like, just ask them in general, because they'll be on the same lorry that they get their toilet rolls, their, you know, bottles of pop and all sorts. It'll be on the same, you know, lorry as everything else. Just ask them, you know, when do you get your new stock deliveries in? And then basically, you know, make sure you get there for opening time or just after then. Then you should be fine. You should be fine. Now, normally you can just ask when they're getting a delivery in. Sometimes they will actually say, oh yeah, we're getting a delivery in on this date. At the minute, some staff, it depends what staff member you talk to. Some staff know, some staff, frankly, can't be fucking asked. Like, for example, one of the B&Ms I went to on Friday, I literally asked a staff member, you know, I've got a product code, would you be able to check for me? He said, all right, I'll go grab one of the guns, product code guns. And that guy just fucked off. Just fucked off. And I had to actually ask another person to do it for me. But yeah, if you've got the product code, then yeah, I'd say don't use the B&M app, because the B&M app is just useless. All the B&M app will tell you is subject to availability. Go to your nearest store to check. That's essentially. You used to be able to ring up, but at the minute, because of COVID, if you try ringing the number, you will just get an answer machine saying, unfortunately, we cannot take your call at the minute. So, yeah, it might not be every V&M, but generally, that is the case. Where was I at? Have a nice day. Thank you. There's a photo of that on Twitter. Okay. He said you to. He said. Oh, let's read this again. He said you two used to speak, but you eventually were rude and horrible, and he's exposing you. Is it Lennon? I don't know. He's gonna expose me. I mean, the thing is though, you can't. The thing is though, it's hard to expose me, because the thing is, I will tell you anything. I don't try to hide anything. I'm literally one of the most open people you could meet, because I will literally say anything, whether you like it or not. So you can expose me all you like to that person. Hey, there's more B&M sex coming. Check out the merchandise guide. Okay, so this is a live thing. Thank you, 5 Studios, for letting me know. Okay, so yeah, so thank you also to the Doctor Who merchandise page. So I was right. So the sex this year. So that's why the sex were cut down. Okay, because we're getting 2 lots. Okay, so so just taking a look at that. So we have Companions of the Fourth Doctor set B, which I'm assuming is just going to be variants, but History of the Daleks set Pack B, Daleks Master Plan, and I don't know why they've called it Twin Packs A and B. I'm assuming they're going to call it Sex either 3 and 4. But okay. Friends and For the 13th Doctor set B. Okay, great. 1975 Unix Terror of the Zygons set. So I'm assuming that'll have the Brigadier. It might have a Harry Sullivan. Because one of the figures I did see is they could do the variant of Harry Sullivan from the end of Terror of the Zygons. 5th Doctor and TARDIS set from Castrovalva. So does that mean... Now that could mean 2 things. Either A, we're getting the Regeneration 5th Doctor. Either variant, either the coat or coatless version. Or we're getting the version without the sticker celery. But the fact is, they say specifically from Castrovalva, it would be nice actually if they did do the original version that doesn't have the celery. And apparently we're going to get Ace and a Dalek with rocket launcher pack, so I'm assuming that's just going to be the Remembrance Ace figure and an Imperial Dalek. And the 12th Doctor and Davros, which this is going to be interesting. Now, the 12th Doctor, we've already had that figure released before, so that makes sense. But the Davros, now, Julian Bleach, are they just going to do the Journey's End version, or are they actually going to give it a new head sculpt? Because Julian Bleach's mask from the Witch's Familiar is actually a different mask. It looks a lot more like Terry Malloy's mask, actually. But it's not the same. It looks completely different from the one in Journey's End. So are they going to do a new head sculpt for that? But I don't know. They are also going to do a 13th Doctor Blue Top exclusive, which, okay. That is apparently going to be a US exclusive, so that not bothered about. But yeah, apparently these are coming later in the year. Now, I imagine these will be B&M's Christmas rings. These will be out in probably September time. And although it doesn't say, I don't think it says, it just says later in the year. Yeah, so my guess is September, because that is when the B&M Christmas range comes in. So yeah, basically, the new sex, I'm guessing that's September. But yeah. So we're going to get some new sex later in the year. That is good. That is good. So yeah, I think they have just cut the wave in half. Generally, I don't know if they were going to launch them. So the thing is, I don't think they were. I think they probably did plan for the previous lot to come out in June. Obviously, COVID kind of got in the way of that, and they're probably going to release a second lot in maybe late August. I'm going to bet you September, maybe even late September, early October. So in a way, I was kind of right. They have split the sets in half this time around, sort of. So yeah. Also, season 14 is back in stock, the Blu-ray. So for those who care, who are interested, season 14 is back in stock. I think I saw a tweet the other day about that, but yeah. Season 14 is a great set to get, by the way. In stock. So yeah, I'm really looking forward. So they haven't done a season 18, Tom, but they have done a Cascavalva. Now, what will this fifth Doctor TARDIS look like? I think it'll basically be mostly the same as the previous version that we got with the Androzani version, but excuse me, it will obviously not have the mud or anything like that. So, and might be a little bit brighter. I don't know. I think it'll mostly look the same as the previous version. It's interesting they're going to fifth Doctor version, yeah, because but I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. So more sex coming later in the year. I'm happy. I am happy to get them, and I will be reviewing them. Surprise, surprise. Hello, Dalek Apocalypse. Okay, so apparently there's going to be an in-depth video exposing me to ruining my career. But apparently, though, this video will not ruin my YouTube career, because I don't have a YouTube career, because I make zero money on this website at all. YouTube would rather I didn't exist, because it keeps copywriting each one of my videos. In fact, it tried to copyright claim this video when I unboxed this yesterday. Yeah, they attempted to, but they couldn't, because they couldn't find any grounds for it. And the bit where they tried to attempt a copyright claim is when I was going through the booklet, and it is one of the newly discovered images on there. So yeah, it's apparently when they tried to copyright claim. And if you missed the bit at the start about this, I'll quickly summarize what I thought. Do not buy this for the animation, because it's, quite frankly, the animation, there's more mistakes in this. There's scenes flat out cut out and missing. from this version that they cut out, like Patrick Troughton first getting his recorder. That's gone. Also, there's bits of animation error where the shoulder doesn't correctly join up with the body. Patrick Troughton's trousers are completely wrong. And also, for some reason, the hands, they've redone the hands, and they look really cartoony, and they don't look like they actually attach to the body correctly. And also, some of the lip syncing is actually slightly off this time around, where it wasn't previously. So yeah, there are a few minor improvements that they have done. I will say there isn't no improvement, but they're so minor that to me it isn't worth it, and I'll just be going back to watching the previous animated version. However, what is on this version is a really good retcon version using the new telesnaps that they've done. Well, the newly restored version of the telesnaps, and also the few new snippets of air footage that they've got. And to be honest, this thing is worth it for the special features. If you're a fan of the Blu-ray box sets for their special features, this is definitely worth it for that. I won't say it. I don't feel like it wasn't worth me getting this. It definitely was. And I have fully ripped, or should be just about fully ripped it to MP4. So basically, it'll be nice to have that in my collection. So yeah, but I am happy with this, and a version, you know, I actually did have a brief chat with Captain Junior Pie on Twitter, because he actually bought the DVD, and I actually did ask him why, and he said, oh, because all of his other Doctor Who stuff is on DVD, and he generally doesn't buy Blu-rays. And the reason is because he can't tell a difference. Now, personally, I can tell the difference between a Blu-ray and a DVD, or even a standard Blu-ray and a 4K. So generally I can tell the difference. I know not everyone can, but generally the Blu-ray is just in better quality. But also, a reason you might want to get the Blu-ray, if you're less careful, because Blu-ray discs are more durable. I've never had a Blu-ray disc feel on me, but DVDs, they can get scratched much more easily. So yeah, but generally I always buy the Blu-ray. Now, if they do release a steelbook of this, which, you know, there's rumours, they're kind of like debating it. They said, oh, it depends how well this sells. If they do a steelbook, depending on the artwork, I might get that version. I might. If I do, I might consider selling this version. I don't know if I did get the steelbook, or might just not open the steelbook. I don't know, but it all depends on the artwork, because the artwork, you know, is the thing that sells it. I don't think this artwork is bad. Joyce, I do quite like it. The only thing I don't like about this artwork is I think the lightning is a little bit over the top, to be honest. I think the lightning is a little bit over the top. And also, for some reason, the Dalek plunger looks really stubby. The gun looks fine, but the plunger looks really stubby. I don't know why. But currently, I'm actually converting the special features to MP4 on my laptop. But and also, the reason this one's rated a 12 is because of the special features on here. I can't remember which special feature it is that makes it rated to 12. I think it's the Wicker's World. Or was that on disc 2? I can't remember. One special features is the reason why this is rated a 12. The animation and everything is still just a PG, but it's disc 3 on this that is actually a 12. The other two are PG. So, yeah. But obviously later in the year, we'll obviously be getting the Fury from the Deep, which actually I've cancelled my Zavi order and ordered it from HMV, because Zavi were the original people I actually ordered this from. This is actually was actually a late Easter present off my granny. Instead of some Easter eggs, I wanted this instead. But Zavi, it came to, I said in the unboxing video, but it was Monday afternoon and they still hadn't dispatched it, so I just decided to go, fuck it. I just went to HMV and just got it from there. So yeah. Happy. But yeah, I am perfectly happy with this picture, and I do recommend it. Not for the animation, but for everything but the animation. Which is why, I mean, I wasn't going to be getting rid of my original version anyway. In fact, I still have my original DVD copy. I would have sold my DVD copy of the original release, but the only reason I haven't is just because the DVD is worth pretty much nothing of the original version. I do have the steelbook, and I never get rid of... To be honest, I rarely get rid of anything anyway. So yeah, it is nice to have both versions. And the special features that were on the original version are on here as well. I mean, there was very few, but they are on this version as well, so you're not losing anything. If you're not that bothered about the animation, or you've already got the original version but you wanted the special features, then yeah, if you're happy with the original version, you know, and you're not bothered about special features, there's nothing on here, this is not worth the money then. But yeah. But I originally said $17.99 was a little bit much, and part of me stands by that. Part of me stands by that, because it was originally going to be £20, but it then went down to $17.99. I think, yeah, I think it's just got the right price. Just. I think maybe a little bit, you know, if you are debating, I'd say wait for a price drop. Wait until the Blu-ray goes down to maybe $12.99 or $10 or something like that. But that's when I say it's worth jumping on for this, because, you know, the Wicker's World is really good, and that is in HD. Especially if you're a fan of horror, this is worth it, because there's a really good Christopher Lee interview on there as well, and you get to see a bit of the original Yeti costume. But yeah, this version. If I could have this, the special features on this, but with the animation of the original one set, that would be good. But to be honest, this thing will not be coming out, the discs will not be coming out of their box anymore. In fact, the Steelbook Blu-ray, the discs have only been out of their box once, and that was to rip them, and it's the same with this. Generally, took them out, ripped them, done. So yeah, this will just be staying on a shelf from now on. But I should go back and actually look to see if there's any more comments. And this is... I'm starting to get pins and needles off sitting awkwardly on the end of a bed. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, Dark Apocalypse. There's been new stuff announced. So I think I did send you a link on Messenger. So he has a lot to say about you and everyone who is job. Sorry, he has a lot to say about you. Everyone is joining in. They want you gone. Yeah, they might want... Okay, so my hater who is going to be... and other people who are going to be making a video about trying to, you know, get me off YouTube, get me banned or whatever. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Because I don't give a fuck what other people think about me. And I will just keep making videos. Because I don't give a shit. Because I will just give what my honest opinion is about anything. I will say what I honestly think about something. My opinion might change in the future, but I will just honestly say what I honestly think about something, whether people like it or not. I just make the content that I want to make. Because no one forces you... Surprisingly, what you think, no one forces you to watch my videos. You know, there's no obligation to watch them. You know what I do if I don't like a video? I just go off it. I just go and watch something else. That's pretty much easy. So yeah. And I can actually watch a video where I don't agree with someone on something. But, you know, I might have a disagreement, but there you go, that's the end of the day. And I do take the piss out of everything and everyone. Including myself. I do take the piss out of myself. If you know me personally, you know I do take the piss out of fucking everything. Why? Because I'm British. I've never watched you before, but I'm just letting you know that a storm is coming. Oh, to be honest, I could do with a storm because at the minute it is far too fucking hot. Also, I said in a previous video that there would be no search for Doctor Who Memorabilia 3 this year. That's actually going to change because in a few weeks' time, I'm actually going to be going to Blackpool, Southport and Liverpool, and I will bring my camera with me looking for, Doctor Who Memorabilia and stuff, so there will probably be a third one of those. Been interesting to go Brooks Collectibles. If anyone I actually do have a friend in Blackpool, so if Brooks Collectibles is open, it'd be nice to see the guy in there and have a chat with him. And there's also the guy at the collector shop. I got the Product Enterprise Dark Invasion of Earth Dalek, so it'd be interesting going around there. Collector shop, to be honest, for the most part, I go to collector shops, to have a look mostly, but also to have a chat with the people. Some of the stuff you don't see that's done off cameras, I do actually have a chat with the person at the collector shops. A lot of the time, I don't buy stuff from the collector shops, mainly because either don't. Most of the time, they just don't have anything I want, generally. And if they do, it's generally I can find it cheaper, which is a shame. But I know why they have to put the prices like that. But it's just like, at the same time, if it's like more than double the price, I could get it elsewhere. It's just like, sorry, but I don't have unlimited funds either, so I do feel bad in those cases. But it's just like, if it's only a little bit more, then yeah, buy from the collector shop. Ego say I used to be on your Discord. Okay, that could be several people. That could be several people. To be honest, I barely use my Discord. I barely used it. Very rarely did I use my Discord. Something I did actually do, for a limited time, because what I did is, since I rip all my Blu-rays and DVDs as well that I have, I knew that some of my friends, didn't were unable to get season 14, and some people just wanted a digital copy anyway. So what I did is, when I finished ripping season 14, I put it on my Mega cloud drive, and basically I gave people a link and said, I'll be leaving it on here for a week or so, just the time to download. Here you go, download. And I did actually put that link in my Discord. But season 14 has been reissued for the third time. For the third time, it's being reissued. So yeah, go get season 14. It's good. No word yet on what the next set will be. I don't think we'll get another Blu-ray set this year, because we haven't even got one announced. So I think if there is a third one announced this year, it'll probably come out in like January, February next year. Because one thing you can guarantee with any new Doctor Who media release, whether it be the Blu-ray box sets or an animation, you can guarantee whatever date they say it's coming out, just add a month onto that. That's when it'll actually come out. Guaranteed. What do you think about Doctor Who Ace rocket launcher pack? So the Ace, I haven't got a Remembrance Ace. I do have the Silver Nemesis version, but I don't have the Remembrance version, so I'm really looking forward to that. Imperial Dalek, which it most likely will be. I don't know whether, actually, something I don't actually know. Now, we know it'll probably be an Imperial Dalek, but will it be the destroyed version or a regular? That'll be the interesting thing. Will it be destroyed or the regular? Because if it's the destroyed version, the one will probably just be enough for me. But if it's, got a regular Imperial, army building time, people. Army building time. Who knows? But yeah, something I would actually like to see. I hope the Imperial Dalek has the straight gun rather than the pinch gun. The original Imperial Dalek release did have that, but every subsequent version has the gun with the pinch in the middle. It should actually be a straight gun, because these were actually brand new Daleks made, so the guns weren't pinched in the middle of people grabbing it. So yeah. Also, the struts on a Dalek gun, on a real one, surprisingly fragile, which is why on the new series ones, they aren't just like straight, they actually go at an angle and then are straight. And the reason is to address that problem, to make them more robust. What are you going to do about the video? Get it taken down or respond? I don't take down people's videos. I don't take down people's videos. The only reason I would try and get a person's video taken down is if they just downloaded mine and re-uploaded it straight away. I mean, you can use, if you want to use clips on my videos to respond to them, fine. Don't just download it and then just re-upload it, although I don't think anyone would do that. Although I probably gave the idea to someone now, haven't I? But yeah, I've never tried to take down anyone's video. Will I do a response to it? Maybe, if people want that. I mean, I can pretty much guarantee what's going to happen. I'm going to watch it. Probably a couple of my friends might watch it as well. And we most likely will have a laugh about it afterwards. Because that's usually what happens. The thing is, the things they say in the video, you know, so probably will be true, but it'll probably be stuff that I've already said. Like, I don't try and hide anything, so, you know, I've always said, particularly in these live streams, you can literally ask me anything. It doesn't have to be Doctor related. It can be absolutely bloody anything. And I will answer it. Like, there's only a few things in life I will not answer. For example, if you ask me about someone else, like if you ask me a personal question about me, I will answer it. If you ask me a personal question, say about my granny or my brother or sister, you know, my dog, then I probably wouldn't. Just maybe my dog, because yeah. Also, let me know if you want to see my dog in more videos. If you want to see my dog Bobby in more videos, then let me know. Because he hasn't made a proper appearance in a video for quite a while. I've got the Remembrance Ace. You got the Remembrance Ace for £10. That is really good. I got the Silver Nemesis Ace back in, I think it was 2016, 2017, because Forbidden Planet International, when they still did have a website you could order from, they had it on sale for like between £7 and £10, so I did get one of them back then. And place my bets on it'll be getting Destroyed Imperial. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it might be that one. I don't know. If it isn't, then, you know, but the fact is, if I package it with an Ace, then maybe it will be Destroyed. Although, to be honest, I'm happy to have a Destroyed Imperial. Again, so yeah. I mean, apparently he is just being on this video to get a thumbnail. Okay? Great, he got a thumbnail of me. There are countless of literally, if you Google my YouTube channel on Google Images, you will find countless pictures of me, or even on my Twitter. So yeah, actually, something I should actually mention that was pretty funny is my dad has got a sort of Roger Delgado goatee right now, because the reason is he's got the moustache and down here and the beard at the bottom, but he's got, since, you know, he's turning 50 this year, he's starting to go white. So he's actually got 2 white streaks there and there. His beard is blonde mostly, but he's got 2 white streaks there and there, so yeah, he's got the Roger Delgado beard at the minute, which I did find quite amusing. So yay. Whew. But yeah, if there's anything else you'd like to ask me, then by all means, please do. Please do. And it can, you know, literally be absolutely anything. And I should get the chat room. The reason why I place my bets on destroyed Imperial is because to me it just makes more sense because of blowing up. Yeah. The only reason I would say they wouldn't do it, there's only one reason I can think of they wouldn't do it, is just because they couldn't reuse as many parts. Because for the most part, the two Dalek sets that we've got right now, for the most part, they use mostly the same parts. And also they use the same paint apps for the most part as well. So maybe that's why, because that's how they can sort of cut costs down by, I mean, pretty much all Daleks use the same sculpt. The classic ones, the only difference is with the Imperial is obviously the dome lights, the eye stalk, and the gun and plunger. And also it has a different sort of, I don't know, midsection with the hexagon. But that's about it. Yeah. But yeah, I am looking forward to this new sex, and the only thing I plan to pick up like between them is I do plan to get more History of the Dalek set ones just to army build. I've got one so far, which was the last one I had. Though I have managed to pick up, if you saw on Twitter, another two History of the Dalek sets number 2. So I've got 3 of those in total to army build. So in fact, you might see in the thumbnail of this video. So I've got 3 History of the Dalek set 2s, and pretty much I think I'm happy with having 3 of them. And I might buy another one or another 2 of them. But yeah, for the most part, that'll be me mostly set. In terms of the other stuff, well, who knows? Something that I would like to see in the future is maybe next year, rather than give us a Doctor figure with these sets, put the electronics in the TARDIS. Like, I would happily forgo the Doctor figure if it meant we got the electronics in the TARDIS. Or, if you're not going to do that, then get rid of the fucking speaker hole and battery compartment. Like, either one. Do either one of those. Fine. Personally, I'd rather have the electronics in. Just because then, there's like an actual light in the lantern, which does make it look better. But, please, or if not doing that, if you want to, include a figure, then make this set £25. 30 would be pushing it a bit, but even then, just like, just have the electronics back in there. Because to be honest, that would make it so much nicer to have them in there. Yeah, I mean, it's a basic thing. I mean, you don't have to include batteries either, because, in fact, none of the TARDIS, none of the classic TARDIS sets ever included batteries, the electronic ones. I don't think any of the new series ones ever included batteries either, so, yeah, just please. Because I would really like them. That is really nice seeing a bunch of holes on the back and an obvious battery compartment. So, yeah, just please do that. Other than that, Also, something for future checks as well. Please include accessories for all the figures that should have accessories. For example, the Silver Nemesis set of last year, the Cybermen came with guns, but the 7th Doctor didn't come with an umbrella. Please fix that. Also, it would be nice to see sonic screwdrivers included again with the Doctor figures. Other than that, and something they did fix this year, actually, 2018's Brigadier figure didn't come with a pistol. This year's one did, so they did fix that. So hopefully it means in the future that all figures that, should come with accessories do. I know Patrick Troughton doesn't come with his recorder, though I can forgive that. I don't think he used the recorder in the War Games, though. Don't think he did. I mean, they could actually have packaged a repainted Psychic Cube, just, because they do actually have a Psychic Cube sculpt, but that came with Idris. So it'd be nice if they included that, just obviously repainted to I can't remember if it was silver or grey. I think it was just grey. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to see it, me too. I can't wait for the fifth Doctor TARDIS, neither can I. No, I'm more looking forward to the Ace figure with the Daleks. I think Daleks, I always love Daleks. But yeah. I can't really think of anything else to say. Same box. But be careful, or you're getting deboxed. I won't be careful, I'll just go on like I normally do because I don't care. I'll just go on my day as normal, because if someone says mean things to me on the internet, what do? I just go on my day as usual. Because it really doesn't affect me. But yeah. Anyway, I think that'll do for this live stream. Unless there are any other questions you'd like to see, quickly leave them below. Otherwise, I will pretty much cut this off, because otherwise I could ramble on here forever and a bloody day. But yeah, in terms of videos to come, next month I should be doing, hopefully, my search for Doctor Who memorabilia, where I go around different collector shops in different parts of the country while I'm on holiday there. So yeah. But other than that, that's about it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're done here. We're done here.